Welcome to another Founder Wisdom podcast. We have Janus Klok Matthesen with us today. He is co-founder and CTO at Pixelz up in Denmark. I'm in Mexico, in Oaxaca, Mexico. And this podcast is brought to you by topleads.agency. If you are a SaaS and need some help with your cold email, you can hit us up at topleads.agency. We're a specialized B2B SaaS agency for your cold email. So Janus, welcome to the podcast. Tell me a bit more about yourself and what you're up to nowadays.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you're right. My name is Janus. I'm 49 years old. I've been doing startups since late 1990s, so 25, 26 years now, working in startups and creating startups. And the most recent is, well, it's back from 2011, and it's Pixelz, where I'm a co-founder and the CTO. Before that, I think I was involved in 10 or 12 different startups in the years leading up to that. And one of the major ones was also the reason why we created Pixelz.
Which one was your most interesting or most successful startup yet?
Yeah, that has to be Pixelz, where I am right now. In Pixelz, we got several investments during the early days, and back in 2021, we got private equity funding joining the company, and today we are owned by this private equity, Adelis from Sweden, and then the management team. And also, we are by far the biggest startup I've been a part of creating, and also the one with the most clients and so on.
Very interesting. And yeah, tell us a bit more about Pixelz itself. What does it do, and why do you feel there's a product market fit there?
Yeah. So basically, the story goes that back before Pixelz, we were created a e-commerce platform, and we were creating all these web shops for our clients. We had a very, very gifted designer, and whenever she made a design for a web shop, we would always sell that web shop to our clients. And then we would connect all their systems, get all the products online and so on. And very often the clients would come back and say, it's not as nice as the design you showed us. And then basically we could show them that, well, the only thing that changed is we put in your own data, your own images. And back in that was in like 2010, and back in those days, the images did not look great. And that was basically the kickoff for us starting Pixelz, where we help companies optimize their images and videos for e-commerce. And we do this at a very high scale and very consistently and with a high quality, mostly within the apparel and fashion business, and working with brands all over the globe.
And yeah, tell me about these AI models. Are these here AI models, or are they real humans?
Well, we work with both. There's a lot happening in the business right now, and one of the big moves that we're seeing is that AI models is moving in as part of the whole business, and we are also creating all kinds of products around this, where basically we see a tendency where the whole I don't think the whole market, but a big chunk of the market will move in a direction where it's fully digital, where a lot of the assets will be created by AI. We have an AI team, and we started that, actually, I think it's now 7 years ago. So way before this wave of AI came in, everything we did in the beginning was all about optimizing this production engine, you could say, to produce all these assets at the high quality and very fast and so on. And then recently, in the last couple of years, we started experimenting with all these AI generated assets as well. And it's exciting times, but also I think everyone is trying to find the exact match. We know how we did all the old stuff, us and our clients. We know how studios work. We know how to create value for studios and so on. I think everyone, all our clients, all the studios are right now trying to figure out how do we do this in a digital way, and how do we do it in the right way, and still sending the right signal about our products, and helping our clients buy these products in the end, you could say.
And what do you say to people that say that you're replacing models? Like, what jobs will these people have?
Yeah, of course, that is a real challenge, right? I have a team of 40 developers that I run. They ask me the same questions all the time because, of course, I today I just been playing around with Gemini CLI and building apps and stuff, and it's pretty amazing what AI can do, right? And I think, of course, for some jobs, of course, it will displace those jobs. Of course, there will be changes happening. I think part of what we are seeing right now, and what we are very involved in, is what we call digital twins. And in those situations, it's actually real models being digitized and also being paid. They they of course don't travel the globe as much as they would if they didn't have the digital version. But on the other hand, suddenly they can do maybe 10 different shoots in the same day digitally. And I think what we're seeing is that a lot of companies, also because of all the legal aspects of everything, because you want a certain, you want a spokesperson for your brand often, right? And within all of that, I think humans connect to humans, right? And we want real humans to a certain degree. So I definitely think there will be a space for models in the future as well. If it will be the same size of space, I'm not sure. I think some will be displaced. I think you're right about that.
And what's the average consumption per month of a client of yours? Because it's like per usage, right? Which is pretty cool as well. What does a brand like Aldo or ASICS, what do they consume on your platform per month?
Yeah, we have different tiers of clients. So we have the very small clients who we call solo clients. Then we have what we call our pro segment. The pro segment starts anywhere. I would say a pro client would probably be consuming anywhere from $1,000 to maybe $25,000 a month with us. And then we have, sorry, I said a month, I meant a year. And then we have our enterprise clients, and they go all the way up to several hundred of thousands of dollars. So it varies quite a lot.
And why doesn't Canva do that? Would they be a potentially good partner for you, or would they potentially acquire you one day?
Who did you mention? Canva?
Canva.
Yeah. I guess we could. I think for most of our clients, the need is different. I think what we have done is basically build this workflow engine that integrates tech and humans very closely. I think I'm not an expert on Canva, but as far as I know, they are building a tool that they want the end user to use, you could say. For us, with a lot of our clients, we are handling maybe thousands of images, hundreds of videos every day, and delivering. We need to deliver them back within hours, not days. So at that scope, I think we are a bit different because we have that hybrid solution where we connect. We have a mix of humans and the technology. But who knows? Certainly, I could see a use case with a company like Canva, and I'm sure we would love to talk to them about being acquired. So yeah, definitely.
And you've been running that company for almost like 14 years now. It has grown to a pretty decent size. What's your thinking when it comes to raising some more money, being profitable, and even one day having an exit?
Yeah. So we have been profitable for some years now. So that's where we are. I think the longer term strategy. Now we are mainly owned by this private equity, and when you are owned by private equity, you know you're in a fund, and at some point that fund need to cash out, right? So we know that we are going to be sold at some point within, I would say, anywhere from now to the next 5-7 years, something like that. So we know that will happen. Before that happens, definitely our goal is, of course, to maximize the value of the company before that. And I think the way we will do that is by growing. And I think that growth will be, of course, natural growth is part of it. But I'm also, I think we will also be looking into mergers and acquisitions at some point.
Interesting. And what's the story behind that private equity fund approaching you and investing into you? What was the thesis logic behind that?
Yeah, so we had early investors in the company, and at some point, I think we both the investors and us founders, we saw that we were kind of wanting to go in different directions. So I think that was kind of the trigger to us going out and looking in the market. Then we basically went out through a company with the prospect, and we had all kinds of meetings. I for a couple of months we were meeting up with private equity from all over, and even some strategic buyers and stuff like that, and basically presented the case. And I think with the dailies we found a very good match. We really connected well with the partner who was on the case, and I think we also fit pretty well in their portfolio. They have quite a few companies that are kind of you could say servicing other companies that will do selling online somehow. So I think we fit quite well in that portfolio. So
and I think, yeah, not so long ago you launched Flow, right? Like, tell me a bit more about the Flow itself and the ROI, but also the pain behind organizing events and conferences.
Yeah. So after, of course, during COVID, right? Everyone was doing webinars, and we were all doing that, trying to build something, right? And I think what we saw, it was pretty early after COVID, after everything started opening up, we saw that maybe we are ready to start meeting again. And then we did a few test runs, you could say. And then what we realized is that in our business, it's full of creative people. They work all day with their creative minds, trying to spot the new trends and all of that. And somehow they seem to gotten a little bit forgotten when it came to knowledge sharing and networking and all of that. So with that in mind, we basically decided that, hey, we should do something to create a community around all of these people, and that's how Flow started. And then it has grown like crazy from there. So today it's almost like a company within the company. We have several of these, what we call the big Flow events, that are multi-day events where we gather all the people from an area to within the creative industry to give sessions and talks and so on. One of the things we've been very, very focused on from the start, and still really focus on a lot, is that it's not an event where you come to sell. So it's not an event where you come and pitch your ideas and so on. You come to share, and it really has built into a real community, and it feels. We see even competitors out there talking about the pain points they have in their daily life, and it's just, for us, it's amazing when we get to join all these conversations. We really get to know our market and our clients, and then of course it's just fantastic to see that it has become such a success.
What about the podcast? How different is it from a growth standpoint, growth strategy and a networking strategy? I see you also leverage some of these.
Yeah, I think it came out of some of the same conversations when we went to these flow events. We talked to so many talented people, and a lot of these people, of course, they had a voice within the company they were in, but they didn't really have a voice so much outside of that space. And there's so many creative ideas and ways to work within this business. So it basically came from that we decided, hey, we need to bring some of these people. Of course, we do it at the flow events, but we can't do that all the time. So we also wanted to bring some of these people in and give them half an hour, 1 hour to talk about the subjects that really matters to them. So that's pretty much most of the people in the Flow podcast. They are people we met at the Flow events or who's been speaking at the Flow events and so on.
And what about other top growth strategies that you use to acquire clients other than these two?
So far we've been very sales driven. So we have sales teams all over Europe and America. These are our two biggest markets, more or less 50-50. So we have been very sales driven and basically having sales team visiting clients and calling clients and so on. We're starting to move a little bit into some product-led growth. We are right now creating a lot of these new AI products and so on, and we see that starting to push them out to our clients in different ways could actually make sense. So we're starting to leverage that a bit. So far, mostly within the platform as information, you could say, for our clients, but I think we will probably do more in that direction in the future as well.
You still invest in a lot of ads, I would guess. Do you also do like cold outbound? You have a sales team?
Yeah, we do both. Yeah. So and yeah.
And how functioning is it? Like, what type of results are you getting, or is it like mostly organic inbound from your SEO?
There's quite a lot of organic inbound. I think in our business, a lot of our clients, especially our sales team, are basically looking for enterprise clients, and the time to close a deal with such a client can be very long. So some of these clients we've been in contact with for some of them for years. Some of them we visit several times, and I think for a lot of them, a lot of our clients, it's not just switching to some of them is switching from in-house to using a vendor, and it's not like an easy decision that's just made super quickly. So for a lot of these clients, it's more like entering a partnership, and we will help them with the processes we know from different places and so on. And of course, we will also try to integrate their processes into our processes and so on. So it is often, sometimes I say a lot of the sales is a little bit like when you're selling a house. You can't just go ringing doorbells and say, hey, would you like to buy a house? You need someone who's actually looking to buy a house, right? And then you kind of connect the dots. And for our sales teams, it's often the same. But it's still, even today, now we've been in the business for a long time. I think we are probably the biggest supplier in this area. And even today, we still meet clients who haven't heard about us. And of course, every time that happens, we're like, what did we do wrong? And we try to correct that and do better in the future.
And if sales cycle is that long at the enterprise level, how do you actually measure the efficiency, the performance of a sales rep?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Before it's too late, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it is super hard. We know of course the sales cycles are not always that long, so we should be closing some deals over the year, but else I think of course we do measure the normal numbers, but a lot of it is also about deep you could say personal relations, right? And talking to everyone in the sales team and figuring out where are the deals now and what's moving forward, what actions are we taking to move things forward. But you're completely right. It's super hard. I know the marketing team says exactly the same. If we cut all ad spend today, we'll probably not see any change for the next 6 months at least. And then of course we'll start to see everything, right? So it is that is one of the challenges we have, I would say. Sometimes I wish we would have sales cycles of a week. It would be much easier to measure.
Interesting. And yeah, tell me about your top goals for this year. What do you want to accomplish with Pixelz?
Yeah, so I think for myself and the teams I'm in, as you know, I'm the CTO, so I'm very focused on the whole engineering team, the AI team, and we're working very closely with the product team, and it is a super exciting time with all the stuff happening within AI. So we are really focusing on launching a lot of new products involving AI, a lot of new partnerships around, because you know there's new AI companies coming out every week. We can't do it all, so we want to partner up with the best and help our clients get access to these tools. So that is our huge focus in the engineering team and the product team. Then of course overall it's also super important for us to grow the business. So I know our sales and marketing team, they are extremely focused on that. And so that's also one of the big goals of the year.
And how do you determine what feature should be first on the growth map?
Yeah, so I would say we have a product team of 7 people, I think now. So they spend a lot of time in discovery mode, basically visiting clients or being on calls with clients, and really deeply trying to understand the needs of clients. So that's one of the biggest, you could say, sources of truth for us, that they analyze all the information they get. And of course, again, Flow is a great opportunity for us. We get to talk to maybe 100 clients in a couple of days and really take in what ideas they have. But then we also see that because everything is happening so fast with all the AI stuff, right? A lot of our clients don't really know what they want to do. They can't tell us because they don't necessarily know what's possible, right? So I think a lot is also us doing a lot of experiments and then basically trying to bring that. I've been in several meetings with some of our bigger clients where we try to present technology that's possible today that wasn't possible a year or 2 years ago, right? And just try to get their feedback on what on this technology, what is interesting, what is not interesting, what could make a difference for you. So that is very much how we do it, and of course we also there's also a certain amount of gut feeling. A lot of us has been in this business for many years. Our head of product is. He used to be at several of the bigger fashion brands and e-commerce shops here in Europe, and of course knows a lot about his insights from back then. So we are also taking that into account.
Very cool. Well, thanks for being on today, Jan. Where can people find out more about you?
Yeah, first of all, I would definitely say pixelz.com is a great place to look. But else, I would also love to connect on LinkedIn, where you can find me, Janus Klok Matthesen, and I'm there.
So that was Jan and Charles for